Alright guys, welcome back. We are ready to install WordPress. Let's not waste any time. You should have waited enough time for all the emails to have populated from Access Hosting Company. You should have received, most importantly, and everything you need to know about Access Hosting emails. You should have received that initially. Then you should have received an email regarding the new services created, an invoice for you to have paid, and then also you should have waited for the ZA registry consortium email. All right, that would then confirm that your domain has been activated. And then once that has been done, you should have waited a little bit longer, and then you should get this auto SSL certificate installed email from Access. This will then give you the go ahead to let you know that all what you needed to do has been done, and that you are ready to install WordPress as is. So we are going to go ahead and do that. There will obviously be some things on my screen blurred for my own security purposes, but what you're going to have to do is go to this email that is labeled everything you need to know about Access Hosting or hosting with Access. Scroll down to the link for the control panel with Linux, open that link up, and then you are going to use the email and the password provided for you to log yourself into the control panel. If you are unable to log into the control panel, it probably means that you are jumping the gun, and the Access team has not yet actually loaded the profile correctly and things. So please just make sure that you are waiting enough time, at least 2.5 hours, for everything to populate. If you check in the SOPs, it says that it can actually take a little bit longer, depending on whether or not it's being done over the weekend or not. So also be mindful of that. That there's actual humans on the other side that is approving the accounts and things. Okay. So once you open the control panel for the first time, it should actually give you a prompt to install WordPress. If it doesn't, that is okay. You can just come over here to the left hand side of the control panel and click on the WordPress manager by Soft Callis. I don't know how to say it. Soft, and you're gonna just come over here and click install a fresh WordPress. Right? So a few important things you want to take note of here. At the section where it says the HTTPS, your domain name, and the directory, you want to make sure the directory is empty and not /wp or anything, because that will create a folder in which your website will then go and lay, and the domain name of your WordPress of your name, the domain name of your WordPress website will not be as smooth as you would want it to be, or look as smooth, because it will consistently be inside a folder repository. All right, so make sure that in directory is empty, and you can read a little bit more about that if you hover over the icon. Now I'm just installing the site name, and over here I'm going to install the exact same password that the Access Hosting guys have actually given me. This is just to make things easier for myself. We are also going to ensure that all of these extra plugins that comes automatically with is all disabled, and we don't install any of them because we don't need them. We have our own web stack that we work from. Alright, and then we are just going to click the install button. Should take a few minutes, and then that should be installed. From there's a few things you obviously want to now make sure you have to do. You're going to have to you're going to have to encrypt your website, and there are also a few issues that can happen arising with that. So what we're going to do now is come over, we're going back to the control panel, and we are clicking WordPress management. Then we are coming out here. Okay, the WordPress site should be installed. If it's not, we'll just go back there to where we were. See, it's right here. Let's go back there. Let's manage our WordPress. Sometimes the stuff just takes a little bit of a minute to sync with each other. So we just logged back there, we came back here, and here it is now populated. So there's no need to actually freak out unnecessarily over these things. As you can see here, because we waited long enough, Access has automatically encrypted our site already. If this is not the case, you'll click here, let's encrypt, and then you'll just follow the simple steps by forcing HTTPS. If it doesn't allow you to just encrypt, then that also means that you might have to contact Access support and ask them to encrypt the website for you. Okay, that can also happen if you have not received the appropriate auto SSL certificate email as well. Now what we are going to do is we are going to simply just click login. Okay, and it's going to boot a setup process. It's going to ask us to add a new password. I'm going to use the exact same password that I just used to create the WordPress with. I'm not going to change it. And that is going to install and create our initial boot up into WordPress. Alright, so now that is done, you can click login and it should log you in into WordPress. Okay, that took us about 6 minutes and we are officially into WordPress. What I like to do now is bookmark this, and I like to bookmark it on the bookmark bar. That way the client, if there is a client, will also get easy access into to actually be able to see these things. Right, so now that is done, the main things we want to check, the first things we want to check is up here in the left corner. We want to make sure that everything is secure, the section is secure. If this is not secure, you want to make sure you go back to Access Hosting Services and get in contact with them and ask them to actually solve that problem for you. That means you either have jumped the gun, some of the settings are not correct, etc. Okay. And that is WordPress installation. Okay. One of the few things that you need to do when you get here is to check the WordPress and just make sure everything is sorted. So I like to come to settings. I want to just check here that this is set up to HTTPS. That way I know everything is secure. I want to make sure my site name is ready and everything is set up correctly there and all the time formats and things are as I'd like. Alright, so now we are going to come back to the control panel, and there's one extra step we are going to do actually in WordPress. I apologize. We are going to add an extra user. This step is just for recovery purposes. I personally am not going to do that now, but this is what you would normally do, especially if you are setting it up for a client. Okay, so when you're setting up for a client, there is a universal account that you would add, and that would then just ensure that you can always come back later on and have remote access into the site that you built for in case someone broke it. You can always come and do some work and obviously get paid for your time. So then let's move on to step 3.4 now, and now we are going to set the PHP, which is the communication files for where all the code of the website lies. Layman's term, that's all you need to know. cPanel, we come into tools. We are going to scroll down all the way till we find select PHP version. We are going to open that up, and then we are simply going to make sure that we have everything set up to the most optimum of HTTPs. Okay, so here we can see this thing is set to native and this is the current one. We are just going to click a manual one. Okay, and then we are going to ensure that the following is added. The IMAG IC needs to be selected. PDF needs to be selected. File information needs to be selected. Okay, those are the three extra ticks we want to tick onto the PHP. This will allow us to read these types of files onto our website. Okay, so you want to click the apply label. Okay, then we are going to come over to options. We are going to change our memory setting to the highest setting. Our post max size, we will make the highest we can, and our max upload, we will make even or below our max post size. Okay, you never want your max upload size to be bigger than your max posting size, because then you might put yourself in a situation where you are uploading a file that's too big for a post itself, and it could also break. So a safer option as well could also always be to go half the size of your post size maximum. Okay, so let's do that just to be technically correct. Okay, these automatically save, as you can see in the corner, and then we are just going to go back to the control panel, and that is going to refresh automatically. Alright, so we are moving fast, but we are getting through all the essential work here. So now we are going to set up emails. It is possible that not all emails are ready, but this is why we have the website deliverables that we tag along with the course, so that you give it to the client prior. You find out exactly what emails that they do need, and then you work from there as well. What we're going to do in tangent with this is we are also going to now make sure that we save all the correct information as we created for the client, and for ourselves going forward, so that we can install our emails onto our phones or other devices and things of that nature, Outlooks or whichever email platform you actually prefer. So we'll go and do that now. So I'm just going to open the Google Drive. Remember, we created this repository earlier. I'm going to business information, emails, and open the document. Move my emails out of the way, we don't need that now. And then let's just create. Right, so the first one, that the default one would be admin. Everybody normally uses that. You can set it differently, but we always use admin because we have already automatically set up an admin email as the main email to capture main information when we create the website. So if you had another email there, if you wanted all the traffic to go to as your main email site, you should have set that separately in the beginning, but that's neither here nor now. So generate a password, I copied it there, boom, I'm creating, I'm saving the emails, and then I'm checking the email. Okay, it's going to ask you a couple of things. I'm going to save and continue. I'm going to always log in, and then I'm going to come to this original email that gives me all the information that I require to set this up for a client. I'm going to copy that information as well, and I'm going to paste it directly into the document. Okay, that is going to then, and I'm going to select here, I'm going to put the password in as well, and then there's all the information inside the repository that the client will always need for the admin email. So let's create another one, and we'll call this one info. Right, so create email, info at PDF everything. Oh no, let's make sales. Let's make sales at PDF everything. Let's generate an email, a password, sorry, copy it, save, check emails, tick the relevant boxes, open up your email. I like to copy this and paste all of it into one document. This allows the clients to use it as they need. And paste the password, boom, we've just created 2 emails. Done. Alright. Right, so now that your emails are created, we are actually ready to start building this website.